If this is my life, then that should be okay. I didn't like that. Oh, I've got to work out which is the wrong side. They're not even that cute. This is a nightmare. I'm starting to think that I might not actually make it. It's gonna be a blanket. How exciting. Hi, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome to the cozy chaos that is my channel. Today I am so excited because my yarn bundle just arrived for the SIRDAR Summer 2025 blanket crochet along. Try saying that 10 times fast. I have already looked inside, but I wanted to come here and show you everything that is inside the bundle. Before I start, the bundle is £35 on the SIRDAR website, but I used a code, so I got 10% off, so I saved £3.50. And it includes everything that you need: 14 balls of yarn, 2 pom-pom winders, a label and a bookmark. I don't know why we're getting a bookmark with a blanket, but we are. So I'm going to open it up and show you everything that's in it, and then we can get going with making the blanket. Here she is. I'm going to tell you the colours of the yarn because you might have some of these in your stash and you could be able to make this blanket for free. All of the patterns are free each week, so you could completely do this with this yarn that's in your stash. Equally, you might not like pink, you might want to swap it out for another colour. I'll tell you the names of all the colours so that you can replace the ones that you might want, and then use the stuff that's in your stash for the rest of it. For me, there was too many that I would have to replace, so I decided to just buy the bundle. And I personally think that £35 for 14 balls of yarn is pretty good. It's what, like £3 a ball? I think that's pretty good. Firstly, the presentation on this is beautiful. All of the labels are like facing up, which I think is such a nice touch. It shows that they've actually taken time to do this. So starting at the top, you get 2 balls of iced pink. You get 1 ball of bluebell, and you get 3 balls of white. And this is the money shot right here. Look at these colours. Let's see if I can get it in a more comfortable position to show you. Look at these colours. Oh my god, I hope they don't fall out. Okay, so starting up at the top, you get 1 ball of tomato, you get 1 ball of clementine, you get 1 ball of lemon, and this is my favourite colour in the whole box. This is Lagoon Blue. I'm hoping that I won't use all of this, so that I'll have some left over and I can use it for something else. It's such a beautiful colour. Starting over here again, you have another pink, but it's a different pink. This is just called Pink. Again, another pink, and this one is called Cupid. These are the 2 colours that I actually did have in my stash, but again, buying 12 balls of yarn for less than £35, I think I would have struggled. So this is Grass, and this one is Lime. I like that there's like a mix of pale colours and bright colours. I think it's going to look super cute on the blanket. You also get 2 pom-pom makers, and you get a label. And then you also get, of course, the bookmark, which tells you the name of all of the shades on the back. So if you've never done a crochet along before, neither have I, so you're in the right place. From what I understand, you get a different part of the pattern each week. So starting on, I believe, May 6th, we're going to get the first part of the pattern, and then each week another part is released so that you can do a different bit each week, and then at the end you have a blanket. And I think it's such a cute idea because that way you're not going to get overwhelmed with all of the pieces all at once and then just never complete it. I feel like if I'm getting sent them each week, then I'll be A, inspired to make the next bit, but also B, inspired to get the first bit done, like last week's done, so I can do the next week. I am going to try and do this in 6 weeks, which is probably a bit ambitious because I know people who did the Christmas one and it took them months. But I feel like if I just make this my sole project, then I could do it. I think it's quite achievable if I don't do anything else. If this is my life, then that should be okay. So I will check back in when I get the first part of the pattern. Okay, so the first part of the pattern came out yesterday and I want to talk about it. Hi, future Louise. I've been editing this video and I realised I was really like going in hard on week 1 on the way that this pattern was designed. Now me, future me, current me, realises that it was just the way that the pattern's written, and actually once I got going into it, it all made sense, and I'm hoping that by the time we get to the border it will all make sense even more. But I just wanted to jump in, preface that, and just say I'm really not trying to be mean. I think I was just ill and grumpy and it really rattled me at the time. So no shade to the creator of this pattern, Sapphire. She's been amazing. She's been helping out in the Facebook group. She's been like commenting on people's videos on social media. She's been absolutely lovely throughout all of this so far. So I didn't want anyone to think that I was trying to be mean. I was hot on it, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. I want to preface this by saying that I was ill yesterday, but I was so excited to get going with the pattern that I decided to just power through and give it a go, and I probably shouldn't have. I wasn't in the position to be doing any kinds of maths, but especially the kind of maths that this pattern is trying to make us do. I also want to add that I am not the only person who's had this issue. I felt like I was losing my mind. Probably was, because I wasn't well. But luckily I have a couple of friends who were also doing the crochet along, and I was messaging them and they were reassuring me that I was not losing my mind, and they helped me work out where I was going wrong. This is how much I've got done. I have been timing it, so at the end of the video I'll be able to tell you how long each section took and how long the entire blanket took. One thing about me is I'm not doing a gauge swatch. Another thing about me is I do not like doing a turning chain. All of my patterns, at least the recent ones, use stacked single crochets instead of turning chains, because I think that turning chains look ugly. So when I saw that this pattern was going to be using turning chains, I decided that I was better than that and decided to do stacked single crochets instead. That was part of my problem with working out the maths, so I will admit that. I was trying to change the pattern. I thought I knew better than the pattern. So the issue that I was having was that with this initial first few rows, specifically the eyelet row, and at the end of the day it's because the maths was off. It's not anything to do with the pattern creator. It's not anything to do with SIRDAR. I understand now why she's written it the way that she's written it. It's not how I would have written it, but you know, she's a professional, I take it, because she's been hired by SIRDAR to write this pattern. I just would have done it differently. It's not to say that one way is better than another. If anything, probably hers is going to be better because of the end product. So let me actually explain what it was that was annoying me. So you start off with a chain of 171, okay? Your 1 is your turning chain. So then you go back and you do 170 single crochets. All right, so that's your start. And then you do 170 double crochets with a turning chain at the beginning. I wasn't doing the turning chain, but for purposes of explaining, turning chain. So you chain 3, 170 back, okay? So we're working off a base of 170 stitches. The next bit is the eyelet stitch, which is this, okay? So we're double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So you get these like gaps. That repeated pattern uses 2 stitches, double crochet, chain, okay? So it's multiples of 2. 170 divides by 2. Yeah, so you could say, yeah, that's gonna fit fine, but we have to end on a double crochet, so it has to be a multiple of 2 plus 1. So it could have been 169, it could have been 171, and it would have been an even pattern. It would have started with a double crochet, it would have ended with a double crochet. Everyone's mind would have been at peace. But this is 170, so what she was wanting us to do was chain 3, double crochet into the same one as your chain 3, because that doesn't count as a stitch, and then go on, chain, double crochet, and then at the end, this is where I'm mad, at the end there's 2 double crochets next to each other. So at one end you have 1 double crochet, and at the other end you have 2. I didn't like that, okay? And I was convinced when I was doing it that I was doing it wrong, because I've never seen that in a pattern before. I've never written that in a pattern before myself. I assumed I was doing it wrong, so I undid it all. Did it again. Still ended up with a 2 double crochet at the end. This is where my friends come in. Is everyone else having this issue? Other people had already done that bit and were like, yeah, there's just 2 next to each other. I was like, there can't just be 2 next to each other. Why would there be 2 next to each other? But at this point, I'd given myself a headache, because remember, I'm not well, and I had to stop. I had a cup of tea, I calmed down, I had a nap. And then I went onto the official SIRDAR Crochet Along Facebook page, and I saw that a lot of other people were having this same issue, couldn't work out row 3, couldn't work out the count for it. And the creator of the pattern, I believe she's called Sapphire, had replied and said the chain 3 at the beginning, you turn and chain, it doesn't count as a stitch, but it's going to come into play when we are doing the border, which I'm guessing is going to be week 6. She wanted to design it so that we weren't covering up part of our main body of our blanket with the border. On the surface you'd go, yeah, okay, that we don't want to be covering up some of this nice colour on the end, we don't want to be covering it up, but we can still see all this, can't we? It's only 1 stitch we'd be covering up, isn't it really? We'd just be covering 1 little stitch. So again, this isn't any shade towards her, everyone does it differently. Some people probably did this pattern and this part of the pattern and thought, yeah, okay, I've got it, easy. I struggled with it. I know that a lot of other people struggled with it, but I got past it with help from my friends. Thank you, everyone. Thank you girls in the group chat, because I was stressing. So this is where I'm at. I'm halfway through week 1, and one thing as well is that mine is longer than it says it's going to be. Mine's 120 centimeters. It's supposed to only be 100, but I wasn't about to undo it all after the day that I'd had. So this is where we are. I've done 1 day's work on it. I'm about halfway through week 1. I'm going to do a little bit more, and I'll update you when I have an update. Okay, so week 1 is done. I don't know where I left off filming this video, I'm going to be completely honest. I literally started this crochet along with like a resurgence of COVID. I had COVID and then I was well for 5 weeks, and then I had a couple of days where I just like felt like I had COVID again, which is completely normal apparently, and it's I guess it's a form of long COVID, I don't know. So I started this ill, and then I had food poisoning. From Monday to it's now Friday. This is the first day where I'm feeling well again, so 4 days. I did manage to get it finished. Monday and Tuesday were a complete write-off for me, but I did manage to get this finished on Wednesday, and then in time for the second part coming out. One thing I do want to touch on is that my first ball of white, I've not finished it yet, but my first ball of white has like a chemically smell, and I am hoping that it is just this one ball that's doing that, and it's not going to be all of them because it's really quite strong. So now that this is finished, I'm going to hang it on the washing line outside in the sun and hope that it sort of like gets rid of the chemically smell, because it is really quite strong. It also like feels rougher than the other colours, and it was squeaking on my hook and the other colours weren't. So I'm hoping that it is just that one ball. I'm not gonna lie, I've already started week 2 because I had a few hours last night to myself. I know, I'm a mother and a wife, and I had like an hour and a half by myself. It was crazy. So I did start week 2. So week 2 we're doing a watermelon panel. So I've done the first, is it 2 rows? And we're getting this like watermelon. You can really see it on camera. It looks really cool, I've got to say. And then we're also, as well as the watermelon panel, we're also doing some oranges. So I'm going to do the watermelon panel first because that's the bit I'm most excited about, and then I'm going to do the oranges. I will say I kind of hoped that we would have to do the like fruits and the squares at the same time, because I know for a fact that I am not going to want to sew those oranges on. I'm not going to want to. I'm going to make them and I'm going to make the squares, and I am not going to want to attach the orange to the square. That's just the kind of person I am. So I was kind of hoping that if it was all in 1 week, then I would have like no option but to, because it's already there. Like that's all I've got to do that week is put the oranges on the squares. But now that I have to do them separately, I'm kind of like, and my blanket is probably going to be orangeless. No, I am going to try and do it. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's week 1 done. Now we're on to week 2. Tuesday. This is how far I am. This angle is terrible, I do apologise, but I'm in a bit of a rush, so this is what you're getting. This is how far along I am. I've got all the pink done. These bloody pips, these things, I had to frog this so many times. But this is where I am. It's Tuesday. I still have to do the little white section here, and I haven't done any oranges. I'm not gonna lie, I've not done a single orange. I should have sat and done them while I was watching Eurovision. That would have been the smart thing to do, but I didn't. I'm going to try and get as much done as I can today so that I'm back on track for Wednesday for week 3 coming out. I think the most exciting part is like seeing what's going to be, like what we're going to be making this week. I think that's the most exciting part for me. But I enjoy seeing what's going to be next. So yeah, that's where we are. Okay, so I've finished the white on this and that's now done. And I'm working on the oranges. The actual orange didn't take me that long. One thing about me, I don't like to be sewing stuff and embroidering stuff. So I decided to try and like surface slip stitch the segments on. Obviously I've gone off kilter here, but I think I might have been wrong. I think I should just embroider them. I'm also not sure how this is supposed to sit because it feels like it should be like this. It wants to curl, and I don't know if we're supposed to have the white bit showing around the edge. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just thought I would show you that I did try, and I think I'm going to undo it and I'm going to just embroider it. I was wrong. I'll admit it, I was wrong. Okay, it's Wednesday morning. I've literally just got out the shower and got dressed because the week 3 is out. So let's see what we are going to be making for week 3. Download the pattern. I have been doing it off the pattern rather than the videos. I just find it easier personally. There's a lot of hoops to jump through just to download the pattern. Why am I signing up for something? What's going on? Okay, I can see from the little like preview in the email that we're doing something with, maybe they look like might be strawberries. So cute, but the link isn't working. It wants me to sign up. Okay, I guess I'm signing up. Even though I'm already signed up, I literally opened this link from my emails. Oh, cute. Okay, it's like little strawberries. Oh my gosh, okay, cute. I have to scroll down to the US because I can't, even though I'm in the UK, I can't read UK patterns. Okay, so what we're doing. Strawberry and raspberry ripples. That's what it's called. Strawberry and raspberry ripples. Cute. Okay. Oh, we're joining straight onto the top of the watermelon panel. This is the first bit that's going to be connected. Okay, cute, 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 cute. Oh, I've got to work out which is the wrong side. Oh, I'm guessing that the one with the bobbles is the right side, and so this will be the wrong side. Okay, okay. Okay, so we're doing strawberry ripple. Oh, this looks complicated. Okay, we're doing the strawberry ripple, and then we're doing raspberry ripple, and then we're doing raspberries. And then it also looks like we're making 4 lemons. Ew, is the leaf made separate? Ew, the leaf's made separate. Okay, so we're doing, is it 2 panels or is it all in one? Okay, so it looks like the raspberry ripple panel is separate and you have to do 170 chain again, 171 chain again. That's fine. I will say I have been using the like written pattern because I find it easier, and also I tend to crochet like when my husband's here and we're watching TV and I don't want to have like a video playing. I'd rather just be able to pick it up and put it down and just read it quietly. The way that this is set out is like, it's quite hard to follow. In the last week, I actually missed out 2 rows just because I didn't see them when I was reading the pattern, and it wasn't until I like stepped back and looked at what I had made that I realised I had missed out 2 rows. I wish the bit where it says like first row, second row, I wish that was bold and the rest of it wasn't. I just used them on my phone, so it is hard to like find your place again when everything's the same. But yeah, okay, so that's fun. Strawberry ripple, raspberry ripple, and 4 lemons. I'm really excited to do this actually. I've never done a ruffle before, so that's something new for me, so that's going to be interesting. And also the lemons are hella cute. I wish that the leaf was attached. I'm also concerned about how we're going to be attaching these fruits, because I know that the blanket has a right side and a wrong side, but I don't want to have like stitching visible on one side of my blanket where I've sewn the fruit on, so I'm a little bit apprehensive about that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. This week, ripples. I've got a couple of child-free hours today, but I am going to get my nails done, so I have about 2 hours before I need to go, and I also need to fix this, so I'm gonna try and get at least an hour done. Yeah, let's get going. This is so embarrassing, but it's a nice day outside, so I've come outside. I've got about an hour before I have to have some dinner and go to my nail appointment. And it's a beautiful day outside. It's going to hit 22 degrees today, I think. I've decided to start with the raspberry one because I want to film a reel of week 1 and doing the typical dropping the blanket and letting it unroll. Week 2, week 3, and because the strawberry ripple on week 3 attaches to week 2, I need to film that before I can do that, because I want it to be week 1, week 2, week 3, if that makes sense. This is a nightmare. It's the middle of the day, it's 11:10, I work from home, so I feel like everyone around me should be at work, but also I feel like everyone can see me sitting in my garden with my tripod watching me do this. So you start the raspberry ripple panel with a chain 171. I am so over doing chain 171. So yeah, I'm just going to sit outside, I'm just going to enjoy the weather. I'm going to listen to the birds and my neighbour mowing the lawn. I was supposed to get my nails done last week, but I was obviously ill, so I had to cancel, so I'm going today. But I had told my friends who are also doing the crochet along, and also someone on TikTok asked if I would do it, and I said yes. I said that I would do a tutorial on the magic knot, because that's how I've been joining my colours, so that I don't have to sew any ends in. But my nails, can you even see? This is 6 weeks of growth. They are so janky. And I didn't want to film a close-up of my hands when I had janky nails, so I'm getting them done today, so that means that I can film that today. Okay, I'm going to stop recording now because I feel like everyone is watching me and I don't even know if you can even see me. I feel like everyone maybe but you can see me right now, so. So I've just gotten to the raspberries, and this is kind of done in a tapestry style crochet. I'll show you what it looks like. I've only done 2. They are super cute. and I've never done anything like this before, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm working with 3 strands, which is fun. I'm just hoping that the back isn't going to be too messy. I'm really enjoying this. It took a little bit of practice. I had to do a practice one and then go back and redo it, but I was working on this last night and couldn't for the life of me work out this like green row here. I kept ending up with the wrong number of everything and I couldn't work out what I was doing wrong, and then it turned out I had too few stitches on the row below. I dropped a stitch and hadn't even noticed, so that's a little bit annoying. I worked it out. It took me about 40 minutes to work it out, and I'm starting to think, is there ever going to be a week or a panel of this blanket that I just get it right first time without having to frog anything, without having to redo anything, without dropping any stitches? It would be really nice, because last week's took me 7 hours total, which isn't that bad, but an hour of that was doing something that I didn't need to be doing. So it would be nice to be able to do it like without going wrong. I've got in my head now that I think this will be cute for doing little pumpkins in autumn. I am an autumn girly, love autumn, like love the colours, love me a pumpkin spice. I'm that basic white girl when it gets to pumpkin spice season, and I think you could definitely use this technique for doing little pumpkins, and I think that would be super cute. So now I've just done another little raspberry. Super cute. I'm just going to carry on with this row and I'll check back in. Okay, my raspberries are done. They look like this, and this row alone has literally taken me an hour. I am a little bit concerned that it's like looser than the rest of them. So now we're on to the next row. I feel like I need a rest. That literally took me an hour just to do that one row, so I feel like I need a rest. So I'm going to pause, I'm going to have a cup of tea, and I'm going to come back. Okay, it is Monday evening. I have one more day to finish this. This week I'm starting to think that I might not actually make it. I'm working on the panel that is attached to the watermelon, and I just got done doing these strawberries. Mine look a bit more like tomatoes. I don't know if I've just done it funny or what, but I'm going to say something. This row alone of strawberries has taken me an hour and 22 minutes. An hour and 22 minutes to do this one row. And listen, I'm going to say something controversial, okay? I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's cute. I did this panel first, and this one row here with the raspberries on took me an hour. Doing it, the strawberries has taken me an hour and 22 minutes. I think this panel is really cute. I love the ruffles. I love the little bits of green. I do like the like texture with the raspberries, but I don't think it was worth it. I don't think it was worth the 2.5 hours nearly of my time to do 2 rows. I'm glad it's done, and I'm also glad that I never have to do it again. When I started doing this one and I was doing this, I was like, this is super cute. This is really easy. This will be cute as pumpkins. I was like, oh yeah, cute. I can think of ways I could use this stitch to make little pumpkin things. I'm never doing this again. This is the first part of the pattern that I've actually not enjoyed doing. It's taken so long, and as well, weeks 1 and 2 have taken me 7 hours to do each week, so I've done 14 hours so far before I started week 3. I've already done 8 hours, 9 hours, and I'm not done. I'm still not done. But why was week 1 and week 2 one panel? Like week 1 was 1 panel, week 2 was a panel and 4 fruits. Why am I sat here doing 2 panels in a week and I still have 4 lemons to do? I just would like, would like some more consistency over how much we're actually doing in a week, because week 1, week 2, I was easy. I can do that. Easy. Took me 7 hours, an hour a day. Done. Week 3, I'm already on 9 hours and I'm still not done. And it's all because of these little fruits. That they're not even that cute. These ruffles, I thought they were going to take ages. It took me half an hour to do one row of ruffles, and these are hella cute. They are so much cuter than the fruits. I'm sorry, I know that's an unpopular opinion. I love it. And I'm actually thinking of going and doing ruffles on the other panels where we have these, because I totally could if I wanted to. And they look so cute and they took hardly any time. The back of the ruffles is super neat. Look at how neat that is. That's so neat. Look at the back of the fruits. Uggo. We know I'm starting to get a little bit mad. So anyway, that's my update. That's where I am. I have basically like this again. So like from here to just before the fruits to do again. Then add the ruffles on, which is obviously that's another half hour per ruffle, so that's another hour just doing ruffles. Then I have to do the fucking fruits. I don't want to. This is the first time I'm actually feeling a bit like I don't really want to do it. Oh, also I actually came on here not to rant, but to show you how I was doing the fruits. So obviously this is using like a tapestry method. So we've got 3 colours on the go, and I actually put them in this little like sandwich bag. But when I was in the car earlier, crocheting in the car, this was really helpful because all my balls stayed where I put them. Nope. All of my skeins stayed where I put them, and then when it was time to get out the car, I just put it in my project bag and I was done. So this was a really good hack. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's my update. I kind of want this week to be over. I'm kind of done, and this is the first time I'm feeling a bit like, meh, I can't be bothered doing it, but... Okay, this has been a marathon, not a sprint, but also it's been a sprint because I only had a week. I am happy to say that I have finished week 3, minus the lemons, but I still have half an hour before the next pattern comes out. Here's my raspberry panel. This is my favourite panel so far. I love this. I love this more than any of them that we've done so far, including the strawberry one, which is very similar. It looks like a cake. It's so cute. I had a bit of an issue with the raspberries. Not necessarily an issue in sense of doing them, more an issue in the sense of I hated doing them. The overall effect of the panel is very nice, but I just think that the row itself was very tedious, and I'm glad that I don't have to do it again. And here is my strawberry panel, which is obviously attached to week 2's watermelon panel. This was exciting. We're actually starting to see the blanket come together with this because it's actually joined. Like it's going to be a blanket. How exciting. So it's actually 9:30 on Wednesday, so week 4 comes out today, and I still have to do my lemons, but I'm going in the car. I'm going to be in the car for about an hour. I'm hoping that's going to be long enough to do 4 lemons. It should be. I actually think I'm going to leave this video here. I don't want it to be too long. I don't want to do all 6 weeks in one video because that would just be like an hour long, and I'm not big enough creator for someone to sit and watch me for an hour. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for joining me for week 1 through 3. Make sure you are subscribed so that you see the end of this blanket. Oh my gosh, I'm halfway through. That's just clicked in my head that it's halfway. Oh my god. Okay, exciting. If you've got this far into the video, please consider subscribing. My goal for the year is to hit 500 subscribers, which is a huge undertaking, but I did this month reach 100 subscribers, so I'm a fifth of the way there. So if you want to help me out a little bit more, consider subscribing, giving the video a like. Obviously make sure that you are following me on Instagram and TikTok. I update those a lot more frequently, especially TikTok at the minute. Instagram's sort of fallen by the wayside, I'm not going to lie. But TikTok, I'm on there all the time. You would have seen all of this already, most of it in short form, if you were following me over there, so make sure that you're doing that. And apart from that, I'll see you in 3 weeks for the rest of this blanket. I'll see you when it's finished. Oh my god, the blanket's going to be finished. That's crazy. I feel like it's been my entire life for the past 5 weeks. That's everything from me. I will see you in the next one.